Hello and welcome to yet another session of Wild Cafe, an energetic update of what is going on in the cosmos, in the universe, in your own personal advancement, which is transmitted and channeled from the higher realms, from the Council of the Light, from the clusters of the Plaeidians, the Arcturians, and the Syrians. And these energetic updates are channeled in order to further help you in your journey of self-development and advancement into the path of enlightenment, into the path of becoming one with the light. This doesn't mean that there isn't any darkness. This means simply that the darkness is transmuted from that space of unrecognition, of subconscious disbelief, of chaotic misunderstanding or incongruency and misalignment, to a state of being that reflects an alignment with your highest path, with your truest self. And as always, we hope that this helps you in making your decisions at a human level, as we know that there is much confusion here in planet Earth, especially during this period of time in which the darker agendas are fighting against the light. This has been happening over a long period of time, but it is intensifying only because of the process of awakening. More of you are awakening, and this means that it is harder for that darkness to prevail, but it is fighting its fight with might, with all the tools and resources that it has in order to keep the veil as dark as it can. And so without further ado, here comes the message for these following weeks, which, as we say, we hope will help you. And so we are here to tell you that you have done and you have been doing a great job within your inner alignment, within your inner great work that you are doing. This is the transmutation of the darkness into the light. This is your inner alignment at a micro level, which is also affecting the macro level, from the darkness into the light, so from fear into love. We would like to congratulate you once again, just like we have in these past few sessions, because we can see, we perceive, we sense, we are here with you in oneness, and we know, we believe in you, how much work you have been doing in order to realign yourself constantly in every moment with your highest path, with your light. Continue to do this. This is an inward process that, as you have seen, becomes easier and easier the more you practice it. It is like taking a shower. It is not something that you can do just once and then it fades away. It is something that needs to be constantly in a vigilant mode in order for you to be able to keep this alignment. Otherwise, the darkness creeps in. And the darkness may manifest in many different ways. For some of you, this is experienced as a mind attack. For others of you, it is experienced as psychic attacks. There can be multiple things that happen at the same time as well. When this happens, your emotions become confused and consumed, and this is the only reality that you can perceive and focus on because it is so overwhelming for your system. So the original homeostasis of the system that works in well-being and which works in a state of alignment, constant realignment with that light, with that higher power and calmness, a neutral nervous system, this becomes overridden by the fear, by the lack, by the survival that has been stored at a cellular level in your cells in every single being in this planet Earth, except for those souls who have come here without a reincarnation, but as a kind of scratch or starting point. They start in neutral so as to not have karma, and then just live in dharma to assist with the vibrational ascension of the planet. So for those of you who have reincarnated and who are bringers of the change and are working on those patterns of different timelines that were not resolved, this is what is happening. Everything is coming up to the surface. The darkness is being unveiled. And so you are experiencing and perceiving what it is to be under these types of, let's call them, attacks. So your mind might become very confused, or even you may feel it very heavy. You may feel like it is dense and it is difficult for you to get out of those thoughts and that state. Your emotions get muddled up, and the body brings up to the surface what has stored at a cellular level in the form of fear, in the form of lack, in the form of resistance. And this in turn creates a muddled up system which then projects onto the external sphere a reality that is exactly confused and muddled up. For those of you who keep doing the work, we definitely recommend you to keep doing it, because this is what's going to save you from recreating past paths and patterns of muddled up realities and relationships. As you may know, both planet Earth and its individuals are ascending, and hence in this process there is a lot of purging that is taking place. The weather systems are aiding, and at the same time they are confusing the whole process, because two things are happening. The Earth is using its own tools for ascension. So droughts, for example, and even volcanoes, fire elements are elements that can be and that are being used in order to purge that what is no longer needed. But there is also the hidden elements of the darker agendas that are interfering and co-creating these same systems, but in a different way, in order to once again maintain the population in a system of fear, lack, instability, and total confusion. So it is not surprising that you kind of no longer know who to trust, who not to trust, what to believe, what not to believe, because even one same circumstance or element is being used for two very distinct, contradictory even purposes. One of them is the Earth's core and the Earth's loving intent of maintaining a state of homeostasis in love. So it is using the tools it has in order to keep itself in that love. And the other one is the same element, the same circumstance, such as the weather, being used by the darker forces, the darker agendas, to create more muddle-ups, more confusion, more chaos, more lack, more instability, more separation, more fear and survival mode, which keeps people in separation and in that need for protection for their own self instead of uniting. The thing is that positive can come out of these events. So if you look at it and you realign yourself with love, then even if the intent of the darker agendas are to use these tools to create more confusion, it can actually be transmuted and elevated into a positive wave of love by those who are more aware and who can manipulate the system to their own positive, loving, caring intents. This means that by standing strong in your own vibration of love with the creation of an intentionality based and grounded on this love, on positivity, on oneness, on unity consciousness, then even if the tools that are being used by the darker agendas are creating muddle-ups, they are creating confusion and chaos, those individuals, bringers of the change, who have a greater awareness and who can see the bigger picture and who have been guided to receive the codes, to receive the encoding of the higher purposes, carry within them the codings of the lineage of the king and the queen, which means that they can use this to their own advantage by changing the situation, by influencing that what is happening and the individuals around them, so that they are turned into love, they are turned into cooperation, and on that grounded love, instead of acting from a state of lack and survival mode, which in their confusion state dictates them to compete and to separate and to act separately. We don't know if this is making sense to you or not, but basically what it means is that you can use any circumstance, experience, relationship that is being used by the darker agenda, transmute it, because you have got the intelligence, the skills, the abilities, the encodings, and the groundedness in love, to be able to use that same experience and elevate it and transmute it so that the result and the consequence that is created from what was an initial negative or dark intent can actually be turned into something positive, can actually be deviated and create a very positive outcome. And this can be done at every single level, micro and macro. So the more you can use this in your own personal level, the more of these examples are going to expand into the ethereal field, and they create these positive ripple effects of love, of unity, of awakening, which is in essence awakening the cells of those who are tuning in to this process. Why? Because we are all connected. We are all particles, charged particles of light that have also a dark side, and the dark side is the unknown. It is the confusion, it is the scarcity and the unknowing, it is the not understanding. So when these charged particles affect one another, because we create ripple effects, then the more positivity, the more love, the more unity we create, the more ripple effect of this is created, and so the more is expanded, the more rapidly it is happening even now, and the more expansion into this path of positivity can continue to happen. Let's mention an example that you will understand: COVID. Whether it was created by the darker agendas or by the light, whether it was created by the darker agendas and used by the light, or whether it was a combination, the main thing to know is that in this one event that had an intentionality of, on the one side, creating darkness and fear, control and scarcity and lack, has also been used and redirected by those individuals in the light who were doing their inner work, who were doing their inner alignment, and who stood their ground in love, in power, with courage, to demonstrate that nothing is going to stand in between them and God Universe. So because of this work and the positivity of these individuals that resided in faith, that resided in no matter what happens, no matter how hard this journey is, I am abiding by God. I am standing my ground. I am sticking to my guns. I am remaining grounded in love and hope and the positivity of what I know is a potential that is possible. It is a utopia which actually can be lived on earth, this heaven on earth. This created ripple effects that were able to transcend the lower vibrations and the chaos and the drama and all the injuries and harm that this darker agenda had created, and they took it onto a higher level of frequency and vibration, of cooperation, of getting people together, of opening up some minds of some people who were very shut down in and believed in the system. These people were awakened into a different reality, into a different perspective. They started to see life like these bringers of the change who have the encodings of the new blueprints already knew and were already living or trying to live, but in a system that obviously does not allow for this to happen. So this means, in very simple terms, that the bringers of the change have got a coding that is within their cellular system. It is the 144, let's call brand of cells, which is in tune with this divine blueprint, with this divine one unity consciousness. We all have this, but there are some individuals that have this more prevalent than others, mainly because they have come here for that, to reactivate these cells, to re-empower themselves and re-empower others to help with the process of awakening. So it is more dormant in others. It is very much, like very little, it is very hidden even by underneath layers of conditioning beliefs by the matrix system. And so for those bringers of the change that have this encoding of the king, the queen lineage, they know what they're here for, they know their purpose and their mission. And the main recommendation we have for you is to stay strong and to tap into courage. No matter what the situation, tap into courage, tap into positivity, do your prayers, your manifestations, your visualizations, your meditations. Do everything that you can to focus and keep focusing on your inner work, on that positivity, because whatever situation can instantly be changed. Miracles happen, and whatever situation is taking place, which seems to be going in a path of harm, of misalignment with the divine, of lack, fear, confusion, hurt, can be instantly redirected with a miracle state of mind, so as to create a positive result, not only for the self, but for the whole. So be aware of this in the next 2 to 3, up to 6 weeks, because this is your main job, your main task, for those bringers of the change to, no matter where they are, no matter what they are experiencing. Some of you find it easy to find the example of Jesus as a very vivid story that has been told so many times that it is clear for you to know that no matter what Jesus was experiencing, he turned to God over and over again. No matter the hardships, no matter how much criticism and how much the system, which is the matrix system, was conditioning everyone to be against him, he stood strong by his belief and faith in God. Even when he couldn't see results, even when he was experiencing inner turmoil, even when he was experiencing inner confusion because he didn't understand why things were turning out the way they were, with persecutions, with people he knew being taken down by the system, by the matrix system, by the emperor and its legacy. He turned to God. And this is what we are asking of you, our beloved brothers and sisters. We are here assisting you. You can contact us, get in touch with us, whether through your own selves, with the connection through your higher selves, or through other channels, vessels, mediums, such as this vessel that is transmitting the messages in these Wild Cafe sessions, so that they can help you realign with your own power, with your own might, with your own courage, and they help you maintain yourself in the vibration of love, in the vibration of oneness and one consciousness unity, so that you can keep being that beacon of light, that strong example, that solid rock for others who are experiencing the process of awakening at different levels. We are all, you are all, at very different levels of your awakening process, some of you more advanced than others, and the reflection of your reality is basically expressing and exposing to you your own inner state. So whatever you focus on, you create. So you focus on positivity, you focus on prayer, you focus on love, you focus on unity, you focus on the tools that are necessary for you to remain in this higher vibration, in this highest path, because that is what is needed. We can no longer abide by diminishing our light and our power. We can no longer abide by being less and lowering our vibration in order for others to feel more comfortable around us. You need to step up as the bringer of the change that you are, stand your ground, and firmly affirm what you want with courage and might, no matter how many swords are being thrown at you from the three-dimensional matrix system. No matter who is attacking you, no matter how aggressive they are becoming, they have no power, because that eventually fades away. So protect yourselves, cover your backs, at the same time keep ascending, keep rising, because the more you rise in that vibration, the less those lower vibrational frequencies, elements, experiences, and relationships affect you, which in turn means that it is easier for you to keep maintaining that higher vibration, and it affects, once again, like we said, like the butterfly effect, like the domino effect, it keeps affecting the whole. So no matter what you're experiencing, the more you can remain in the higher vibrations, the more of a favor you're doing to yourself and to others, because it is easier for you to begin to remain in these higher frequencies that allow you to tap into and to embody love, empowerment, the solidity and groundedness in love, in healthy boundaries, in your awareness of who you truly are as your divine imprint, as your blueprint and your essence in God. And so others will be attracted to you because you are a beacon of light who can, in that firm groundedness, help them to do the same and tune into their own power, their own might, their own light, their own divine essence. So courage to you all, because the darkness is fighting hard. It won't prevail, but during these 2, 3 to 6 weeks, depending on the timelines you have shifted onto, it may take a little bit longer or a little bit less time. You will have been granted a little bit more time or less time to do your inner work to maintain in these higher frequencies, remain in joy, remain in those higher frequencies no matter what, and you will see how you can transcend your reality, shift it with that miracle mind, and allow for miracles to happen, for positive results and consequences to manifest and come about from experiences that you well have never thought that could have turned out the way that they are going to turn out. If you believe in God, if you believe in yourself, if you believe in the power of me, meaning of your higher self, of your highest potential, of your divine blueprint. You are here and it is now. There is no more delaying. You are here and it is now. There is no more delaying. No more time to waste, no more time to wait. Here and now. Ascend, ascend, ascend. Yikuaranata que yayata sayarano tokoa yarata sayana tokoa yarata. Yente que yayara tokoa sayarata yati yoro tokoa titi yarana toa sayarata kianata. For those of you who are willing to remain and to ascend into the higher vibrations, say yes now, comment yes now, and access the codings that will allow for you to remain in this higher frequency vibrations of the divine, for you to be, embody, and remain in the solidity and the groundedness of your highest timelines in love, right here, right now. It is now that is happening. Choose here, choose me, choose now, and